Yes, we can hear you now. You are clear. Yeah.
Okay, to that. I want to begin by the question by, I think, Abdi, when he talked about what Dan Manzo said yesterday. I think it was a morning show between himself and his fellow senators, Sifuna, Secretary General of ODM, and Senator for Kisumu. Of course, it's clear he was just referring to a visit former Deputy President Gachagua made to his county of Makueni. Are you still there?
Yes,
Are you
Mheshimiwa.
still there?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so
You are clear.
what Dan Manzo was basically saying when he talked about 50 plus 1 is really looking forward to a possibility. But I can tell you as of now, we have not opened discussions with former Deputy Gachagua. Or the only thing I think Wiper did during the impeachment process was they stood against the motion of impeachment, and I think that was a very principled position, and because it was a very well canvassed political position by the party at a retreat, because Kenyans were saying they wanted Kufa driver, Kufa Makanga. So it was not going to be Gachagua alone, but even Ruto. That's what Kenyans wanted at that time. So when it comes to coalition building, and I want to link this one up with what Anthony was actually talking about, and sounding a bit angry that the youth are not properly involved, even in coalition making. I want to assure him, when now it comes to this, this is the time to know. Really, I wish, for example, that Gen Zs had formed a political party by now. If they had, I can tell you that I will be the first one to invite them into the new coalition arrangement, so they'll have a seat, a proper seat at the table, in order to together liberate our country. Bonaneto, I thank you for the kind remarks, but you think I'm too gentle for Kenyan politics? Ukiona simba amenyeshewa unaweza kudhani ni paka. We have to take everything as it comes. When it was time to fight for this country against state capture by Adani, we were there, literally. When it came to the time to say we must stop this nonsense about abductions, yours truly, I think, has been on record and literally fighting from the front line. And I think that you say I don't finish what I start. I think it's because we twice or three times decided to support Agwambo, but now it is very clear. I think we do not need a university degree to know that there's no way Kalonzo can now be asked to support anybody else. This is the only time. As I say, we take it over, set the country straight, hand it over to the owners, the younger generation. And if you're concerned about problems of governance in Machakos County, and I think you're probably referring to a time when there was a lot of propaganda that Governor Machakos was arrested in London or something, which of course was serious disinformation. And if there are matters that have been brought to the fore, either on the floor of the Senate, because the Senate has the oversight role over counties, then of course there's no way as a party leader I can condone governance issues in one of the counties that the governor comes from Wiper. And so I want to assure you, we cannot deal with double standards when it comes to the issues of governance. Now, this matter about IBC that we are seen to be holding the country ransom. I can tell you this is a concoction by one Itumbi who works for William Ruto, and he spread the disinformation. The situation is when we, after the signing of the IEBC Amendment Act, there are various formations, and the Azimio coalition was given two positions. One position went to ODM, and then that it was agreed it was coming through Parliament, and therefore the name of Professor Adams Olo went in without any problem. When it came to Wiper's position, it was then Wiper to discuss with the other 23 members of the coalition parties. But then the state came in there, caused confusion, and brought in a candidate because I think they're afraid that out of the 9 panelists who are supposed to choose the new IEBC commissioners, they may not have sufficient sway because the nominee from the Law Society of Kenya, the nominee from the churches and religious organizations, the East Park nominee, I think they looked and said, wow, we do not have one. So let us interfere with the position that the position that is supposed to go to Wiper. And that's why they went and challenged, they brought in a person without the parliament or the county assemblies. Um, are you still there?
Yes, Mheshimiwa. We are.
A lot of interference here.
No, no, it's okay.
So, in order to set the record straight, the matter of Dr. Koki Muli, and how dare anybody really look at somebody with that kind of experience in terms of managing elections and doing whatever. In fact, Dr. Koki's I think passion is ensuring that whoever becomes a commissioner, the 7 or so commissioners, must be people, men and women, who are going to deliver a credible election. But what is happening, the obsession with Kenya Kwanza, is they want to get a commission that will be user-friendly. We cannot afford that kind of situation. So Dr. Koki Muli won in court against the Kenya Kwanza sponsored Augustine Muli, a leader of a party with this is where we are. The matter is come on the 21st of this month. And whatever the outcome, if Koki Muli's position is upheld, of course she will then go on to join and I hope that then William Ruto can quickly move and appoint the panelists. Because one gets a feeling that because of the Gen Z revolution, Kenya Kwanza does not want to see an IEBC in place because they know that all these MPs, some of whom voted against the finance bill, voted yes for the finance bill in 2023 and 2024, ran the risk of being recalled by their own constituents. So they are very keen not to have an IBC in place. So we have said as Wiper, if Koki Muli is, because it is a Kenya Kwanza sponsored Augustine Muli who has appealed after losing the case before the court of first instance. If Koki Muli's win is upheld, then we hope that Ruto can move quickly after the 21st or thereabouts to form an IEBC. And because really, the ball is in the court of William Ruto. When Koki Muli's matter was determined in favor of Koki Muli, they prevaricated. Instead of forwarding the names from the National Assembly to President William Ruto, they denied that meant gave themselves 1 week within which to their client Augustine Muli to make an appeal. That is the truth of where we are. And I've actually said, if the courts rule against the Koki Muli, Wiper will abide by that decision. If on the other hand, that this Augustine Muli's matter is thrown out again, then Ruto should take it and move on. Are you still there?
Yes, yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
So
We are
I
here,
hope,
Your Excellency.
I hope I've cleared this matter about taking the country on a trust fund because we wouldn't want to do that. If anything, we are saying if by end of March, William Ruto will not have acted in a manner that now ensures the country has a new IBC, we will lead those demonstrations again because we think that they want to stagger this matter until 2026, 2027. Then they argue, no, 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 we must postpone elections because according to the Kriegler report, the country should have at least within 2 years a working and a functioning IEBC. So we are aware of all these tricks. Some of them, of course, want even to see extension of the presidential term limit and the extension of parliamentary term limits all the way to MCS. Kenyans cannot take that. because these are matters that require referendum. So we are ready. We are ready to do battle. And as I said, let us see what happens on the 21st. I think the Law Society has issued, or we're about to issue, a statement to say that any election related, IBC related matter should be dispensed with expeditiously in order to give the country a new IEBC. So I want to assure Anthony again that personally I'm ready to work with the young generation, have them sit on the table. Although, of course, we are to look at the composition of Wiper as it is right now, we have a very strong young Wiper Democrats, and these are millennials. These are really Gen Zs, and they are ready. But of course, if it is that they are given a political formation of their own, I'm telling you, they should properly then be. Some other confusions, like there's a fellow called Kamsil, Samuel, who I think jumped because you see the Gen Zs were saying they are faithless, they are tribeless, they are leaderless. So I think a time will also come when we need to get the leaders to be able to work together with. So that is my response briefly. And as you say, don't start, Vananeto. This time, I think everybody knows that we'll be on the ballot, and we'll be in the ballot not just to complete some assignment, but to win, and to win for this country. And I believe our win will be a win for our country, for democracy, for the rule of law, for good governance, for stopping of stealing of Kenyans' resources by those in power.
Thank you so much.